Welcome back to Color Class. I'm Sarah.
I'm Lucinda.
And today we are talking about the mistakes that most people make when making those hair transitions.
And honey, let's face it, we're talking about my mistakes because I am here to engage you all, tell you what I know, and then have you make suggestions on how I fix this mess. Now, just so you know, this isn't a hair color, a leftover color. This is me going gray naturally.
Right.
I'm her mother, and I had hair that was that color. And as I've aged, my hair has done this. Now, I wore it down. I rarely wear it down, but I wore it down because I want you to see how dark it is in the back. And though my red has faded, that tends to happen as we age, you lose some of your red pigment. I still have a glint here and there in this darker tone back here.
Right.
It's so bad that, as you know, those of you who are friends of our show, I don't wear my hair down. I just wear it up, and I can be a summer, unless people look at the back of my head, in which case it's not that bad. Basically, it changes me. So we're here to talk about how you deal with that. And you might say to yourself, well, if you're going to tell me how to deal, why haven't you dealt with it? I can't make up my mind. I want suggestions.
I know. We always ask for suggestions for her hair. Like we were talking about going lavender. We have so many videos where we're like, what do you guys think?
Yeah, just but then what happens with the dark in the back and, I run the gamut between pure white and really dark in the back. As dark as Sarah in the bottom, I've just lost my red. So that's one issue. And so let's get into what we're going to talk about for the show. And I'm telling you all this because I have angst. I worry. I don't know what to do. I know what I can do. I know all the options. I just am happy sticking my hair up in a ponytail. So that is an option. Stick your hair up in a ponytail. If you don't have roots, stick it up in a ponytail.
I was also going to say you do love to cut it all off.
I have controlled myself for you because you told me not to.
I do love the longer hair, but I mean, I know you and you love a pixie cut. So,
but I'm turning over a new leaf. I'm trying to be more open-minded about shaving off my hair. But just remember how different I look like this versus like this. So we know that we have a couple of different options when we're dealing with something like this. We can do we can soften this all over, meaning I could take some of this that's in the back and have highlights put in all the way to the top. Then I have to deal with roots because once you do that, it will change your overall hair color. And I like this whitish thing going on. So
very oatmeal-y.
Yeah. Pearl, oatmeal. I got a whole mixture in there. So I kind of like it. But in some cases, you can do the highlight thing to kind of, like if you're going gray and you used to be a blonde, or if you're going gray and you used to be a brunette, and you've got a heavy-duty demarcation line coming in, and you've got this line here. There are a lot of ways to deal with that line. You don't have to keep going in and getting your hair colored, every couple months. And like I said, you can add highlights, taking the top color and adding those streaks down into the bottom color. Or you can do it the reverse, or you can do it both ways. You can go up with the darker and back with the lighter. Basically, what you're trying to do is soften the root, soften the line, the demarcation line between the root and the rest of your hair. You can use a gloss toner to kind of get those to blend. But most important in this case, I think face framing highlights are a real plus. Now, I don't need them. because I got them.
Yeah. And they do lighten you a lot.
Yeah, they make me who I want to be. And that's good because I'm growing into it, maybe. But, have you noticed that this dark in the back of my head, has it lightened at all? And since I don't think so. I don't see it happening. I just don't. So, maybe we have to deal with that. Gang, make a note. You help me with that too. So, but for everybody else, because this isn't all about me, I tend to try to make things all about me all the time. But think about it this way. The line that's coming in, you want to soften that. So that's one way. Highlights up and down. Face framing highlights are nice. The toners are great. Toners are great because they don't stay. So you can put on the toner and it kind of makes everything the same color, and then it washes out in 9 washes or something, however many. So it's minimal maintenance. It's less expensive. It's the softest visual grow out. It's like just a way to make it not so obvious where somebody is like looking at your roots. Or you can just change the color. Basically color migration. Move on to your future shade. Just do it and don't have to worry about it again. And I am reminded, I'm not going to mention any names, but do you remember our client who had blonde hair and she had grown in to about here with solid silver gray happening? She'd been a former brunette. She'd gone blonde. You'll know who I'm talking about as soon as, I give you the name. And so she was blonde down here, but her hair up here was silver gray. And so we worked with her, and in the context of her color portfolio, we changed her whole head of hair in Photoshop to be the color that was coming in. And she looked amazing. She looked so gorgeous. She was like, I mean, do you remember that moment?
Of course. Yeah, of course.
It was just fabulous. So sometimes if you're coming in gray and you're like, I don't know what to do, you can get the rest of your hair to match your incoming gray, and then you're set. You don't have to worry about the different colors. You don't have to worry about anything. It becomes that silver gray. And I have to tell you, when we did her all in silver, all of her hair, she was a knockout. I mean, do you remember?
And we built the palette for that hair color.
For her, she was transitioning.
Right. We had talked to her and we were like, okay, so what is the goal at the end of the day? So at the end of the day, it was to grow it out. So we then had a palette ready for her by the time she was ready to dye all of her hair to match. And it's like amazing.
Yes, it was incredible. But by showing her what maybe I should do that to myself. By showing her what she could be when the gray all comes in, I'm sure she rushed to the salon and got it done like that day because she was like,
yes, it looked incredible. So if you are somebody that is struggling, your hair is coming in, we can digitally adjust it so your whole head becomes that, and we can build a palette around that. So if you're somebody who's like waiting or thinking about waiting, come to us because we can absolutely help you.
Yeah. Don't look at me as the example of this, but when we do a color portfolio and you are transitioning and you send us a picture of yourself in transition, we will ask you, what's your goal? Where do you want to be? And because we can't do a personalized portfolio unless we have the hair right, we will make the hair right on you.
So we do need like a good
clue.
a good inch or two to work with, but other than that, we got it.
We do. The other thing that we wanted to go over is if you are in transition and you don't know exactly what your wardrobe is because you're in transition. One option is to call us and get a personalized portfolio. Another option is to let us tell you some universal colors that you can wear and you can lean toward during your transitional phase. And not get into trouble. You'll be able to wear them right on through, and you'll look beautiful today, and you'll look beautiful tomorrow.
Universal shades are very important to have in your wardrobe no matter what. So it's not like I'm going to use this while I'm transitioning. No, universal shades are perfect to have not only while you're transitioning, but to wear every single day. And universal shades. We do have a couple videos, so I will link them. But we're talking about shades like teal, watermelon, classic blue, colors that can blend warm and cool together. And you get that medium. We're looking for medium in depth, we're looking for neutral, and we're looking for mid contrast.
And when Sarah says neutral, we have a problem. Color Class has a problem that we're trying to solve. And that is that the world, the fashion world, calls neutrals black, white, taupe,
beige, brown.
That, when we say neutral, we're talking about something that falls on the color wheel between a warm and a cool.
Right. When we're talking 6 dominant characteristics. So
exactly.
If we look at 6 dominant characteristics, we have light to deep. We call that like a mid-tone. Warm to cool, that's where we're calling neutral, but we need to find a new word. And
we can't call it neither warm or cool and in the middle, because that's pretty cumbersome.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying. Yeah. And then we have our soft to clear, which we usually say like mid contrast. So that's where we're coming from.
And when we're talking about these universal colors, which we're going to tell you right now, we're going back to our world famous color wheel that we tend to refer to a lot, because we're color theorists as well as color experts. So we follow scientific color theory. We artistic color theory, not just whatever. So when we say watermelon is a wonderful neutral shade, what we mean by that is it falls on the color wheel right smack in the cool red variety. So it's between warm, which would be an orange, and like a purple red, which could be a cranberry or something lighter, even fuchsia. It falls right in the middle between warm and cool. Now, why is that great for you in your universal wardrobe for transitioning? Because you are probably falling, somewhere in the middle, and it looks good on both warm and cool, and that makes it magical. Same with teal. If you if you're considering teal, you're wondering, well, why is teal considered? It's right between a warmer blue, which is green, and a cooler blue, which leans toward purple. It sits right in the middle, neither warm nor cool. Now, there's a caveat here. It can shift a little bit warmer. It can shift a little bit cooler. Teal is one of those colors that you if you want a true neutral, you kind of have to get it right. At the end of this, I'll tell you a little bit more about the 6 dominant characteristics and how they can affect your universal colors. But watermelon, teal, believe it or not, purple. Purple can be neither warm nor cool. And that mid-range purple on the color wheel, it's universal. Now, for me, because I always bring it back to me, I found some transitional shades that I love for myself. And this is for you ladies out there who are transitioning into this. Autumns to silvers, blondes to silvers.
I was going to say a warmer into the grayer. Anyone out there?
Yeah, and this really applies to everybody except you brunette girls. Brunette, black-haired girls, you will transition into a salt and pepper. And so these softer shades that I'm mentioning that are great for me, they're probably a little too soft for you. Universal shades, yes, jump on those. But this is a little extra. I love dusty rose with mink. That kind of combination. I love my soft navy and my oatmeal. I love my pearl. Stone gray and muted teal looks terrific together. So for us, the softer girls, we have some latitude. And basically, you can just pull the colors out of your hair. And
I should mention our soft neutral palette.
Yes.
We do have a digital download for soft neutrals as well. Now, of course, Lucinda was talking about those clear girlies from brunettes onto salt and pepper or white or silver. You guys luck out because you get to stay
in your season.
Right. But for the warmers transitioning into the coolers, of course, we do have to do a little bit more work. So we do have designated palettes just for you. And I will link them down below. Soft neutral.
Now, let's get to the most important thing. What do I do with this hair? I need help. And if you've done it before, if you did something that worked, please tell me, because I have no confidence in making my own decision about this mess.
I do want to say you do tend to like it shorter, though. I know I mentioned that earlier, but you're always pulling it up. You don't like it touching you. So I am going to throw that out there for all the viewers.
If you want me to cut my hair. Missy here has said for years not to cut it.
I love it longer, but I feel like you don't love it longer.
Well, once it got long enough to put in a ponytail, I'm perfectly content. I love my ponytail.
I do love your ponytail.
And you notice that I never do anything but my ponytail.
Right, but are you always going to have it in a ponytail? Because
Probably.
then you might as well cut it.
I don't know.
See, that's the dilemma.
It's a dilemma. And I hope that the things that we've told you today have helped with your dilemma, and I need you to help me with mine.
Well, we would love to hear your ideas down in the comments down below. We are open to everything, including purple. If you want to see
She's
lavender.
all about lavender, so just throw it out there. We're very interested.
We want to hear it all. So thank you for being here with us today. If you would like to join us on Patreon or any of our socials, links are down in the description below. Lastly, I'm Sarah.
I'm Lucinda.
This has been another color class, and we'll see you in our next video.